Is it set in stone, or is it just impulse? Who am I to deny the calling of my soul? Well, if I've been alone, it's the only thing I've ever known. Mom and Dad, too bad, fell apart at 2 years old. My eyes know that you never step in the same river twice. You never meet the same person twice. Even when the winding winds flow down different passes on the mountainside, we'll still see the spark in each other's eyes. Well, you never meet the same person twice. You never meet the same person twice. Lost on the lonely road, down we know where to go. Even when it feels worlds apart, the ocean is the river's home. This trail of discovery of ourselves and what it all means. Can't blame me, can't blame you. Just two souls trying to find God's truth. My eyes know that you never step in the same river twice. You never meet the same person twice. You never meet the same person twice. You never step in the same river twice. Thank you all for coming out to the Lone Star Saloon tonight. Thank you for listening. Have a great night, y'all. Howdy. This your first time at one of my shows?
Yeah, my roommate invited me. I'm not really into country, I'm more of a hip-hop type of girl. But your songs weren't as mopey and depressing as most country I've heard.
Did you hear Beyonce's making a country album?
Yeah, and people are giving her grief for it.
Which is horseshit, considering country music's roots originally came from Africa, along with gospel and blues and all kinds. What's your name, darling?
Kat Washington.
Shane Carver.
Is that really your name?
Yeah, I reckon I have my folks to thank for that. What are you doing? Can I buy you a drink? Or?
Does that line usually work on your groupies?
It probably would if I had any.
Sorry, my roommate is leaving and she's my ride.
Tell her I would be honored to give you a ride home, and that I promise I'm not a serial killer.
That's exactly what a serial killer would say.
So is that a yes? Because I won't take no for an answer.
Sounds like I don't have much choice in the matter.
Oh, shit, that didn't come out.
Yeah, you know, consent is kind of like a big deal.
It was just supposed to be a joke. Now you see why I'm a musician and not a comedian. I do promise I'm not a serial killer, though.
Okay, one drink. Just let me text my roommate.
What's your poison, darling? I mean, what can I get for you?
Beer is fine. So, are you from Austin?
Born and bred. but I reckon you're a recent transplant, or are you just visiting? Or
Oh, what gave me away, doll? Yeah, I moved here last year from New York on a scholarship to UT Law School.
Congratulations, that's impressive.
Thank you.
To meeting the smartest woman in the room tonight.
Now that line could possibly work.
What kind of law are you studying? I might need an entertainment lawyer someday.
Constitutional law. With all that's going on, I want to be able to stand up for a woman's reproductive rights, especially here in the Lone Star State.
I admire that. I believe it should be a woman's right to choose.
It's funny, you're not what I expected.
Yeah, and what was that?
You're not the conservative cowboy that I thought you were up on stage.
I take after my dad in that regard. He made us go to church every Sunday, but I reckon it was my mom's liberal sensibilities that influenced me in ways I ain't even aware of. She was a transplant, like you. She taught me that a woman should have dominion over her own body.
Wow. Now that line could get you laid.
You're cute when you laugh.
No, I'm not.
No, I mean it. Some people's faces scrunch up all ugly when they laugh and they sound funny, but not you. You have a beautiful laugh.
Thank you. You do too.
No, I don't. I snort when I laugh, like a donkey. See?
Well, do your parents still live in Austin?
Yeah, but they ended up getting divorced when I was a kid. My mom couldn't put up with my dad's conservative control over her.
Oh, I do not blame her.
Sucked for me, though.
I'm sorry. I'm sure it must have.
Say, you ever dance the two-step?
Not that I remember.
Well, let me show you.
Okay.
Here. Alright, now when I put my left foot forward, you put your right foot back. Alright, in opposition like this. We're gonna go fast, fast, slow, slow. So I'll show you. 1, 2, ready, go. Fast, fast, slow, slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fast, fast, slow, slow. Spin this way. Spin this way. We'll take it this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, spin you get ready. 2, 3, 4. Walk in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Well, do you know how to do the robot?
We don't do that too much in Texas, but I do know this one right here.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit of the robot. Or
Oh, either. You're a natural. You catch on quick.
Thanks for the beer and the dance lesson, but I really have to go. I have an early class in the morning.
Can I call you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Cat Washington.
Oh.
I almost walked out with your hat.
Oh. Right, I've got a verse, but I still need a chorus. Can you just listen to this for me? First love's like learning to fly. We're just burning to try. Even if you fall, well, I hear you say, curse love, no, don't even try. When they cheated and lied, didn't care at all, didn't care at all. Well, hey now, don't be afraid to lay down, cover yourself with me. I'll never say goodbye. And then something after that. I don't
That's
know.
good.
Thank you.
Well, I have to say goodbye because I have a shit ton of studying I have to do.
Well, come on. Stay with me tonight.
I slept here every night for the past week. I need to do my laundry.
Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. Oh, stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. That's it. That's the chorus. Stay with me tonight. Thank you. You ready for another there?
Oh, no, thank you. I've had too many already.
Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight.
So, are you a real cowboy or do you just wear a hat and sing like one? Oh, yeah!
I grew up on a ranch and I rode horses, if that's what you mean.
Oh, I'd love to go horseback riding.
I'll take you riding on Lake Travis sometime.
Really? You know, I haven't rode a horse since I was a girl in Central Park.
Yeah, what was it like growing up in New York City?
Oh, it was cool. Yeah, I go to uptown museums and cafes in the village, and I play b-ball in the park. And sometimes we see these weird plays in these little black box theaters. And it always felt like we were part of some underground movement. I mean, New York City was always ahead of the rest of the country, and we were ahead of New York. I mean, New York City is the center of the world as far as I'm concerned. I miss it.
Why didn't you go to law school in New York?
I got into NYU Law School, but they didn't give me a scholarship. So when UT offered me a free ride, I obviously chose Texas.
Well, I'm glad you chose Texas. Otherwise, we probably never would have met.
That's true. I wish you could have met my mom. She would have liked you. She had a thing for musicians.
Where is your mother? I would love to meet her.
Well, you're about 13 years too late. She passed away when I was 10.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, fuck cancer. I miss her so much. It sucks growing up without a mom. She was my best friend, and I had to watch her wither away into some empty shell of her former self. I mean, it was more than my 10-year-old self had to handle, but that was the hand I was dealt, so. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
To open up with so much personal information?
I was going to say ramble on, but yeah. Although there is something about you that makes me want to pour my soul out to you. I know that sounds kind of weird.
No, I get it. I feel the same way, and it is weird. I know we've only known each other a few months, but I don't know. I feel like I've known you my whole life.
No, that's the oldest line in the book.
But I mean it.
Okay, well, would you come to my law school graduation if I invited you?
Of course.
I mean, it's not until next year, but it would mean a lot to me if you came.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
And my father would probably fly in from New York. Poor daddy. He wanted a son, but he ended up with me, so he groomed me to be a lawyer just like him.
I'm sure he's very proud of you.
Well, he did his best to be my father and my mother, which wasn't always enough for a young teen girl growing up in New York City. But I do wish my mom could be there to see me graduate.
She must be really proud of you.
Wherever she is.
In heaven, obviously.
I don't know if I believe in heaven or hell.
What? You don't believe in heaven?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like heaven and hell are like right here and now, depending on your perspective.
Well, this is heaven for me, darling. Just you and me for eternity, maybe. Someday start a family.
Whoa, we have not talked about that yet.
Too soon?
How important is it for you to have kids? I mean, is that something you really want?
Sure. Don't you?
I'm not sure. I feel like the planet is already overpopulated. I mean, what kind of world would we be bringing them into anyway? I mean, the future is so bleak. I mean, there's just so much pain and suffering with all the death from war and sickness and natural disasters, which seem to be happening with a lot more frequency nowadays.
Oh, climate change.
I mean, who knows? And then there's the economy. I mean, everyone seems to be struggling financially from all the greed and corruption of big business. But did you know there has been a major transfer of wealth from the masses to the top 1%? There's no middle class anymore. You're either rich or you're poor. And then there's just so many new diseases. I can't even keep up with all the vaccines. And it doesn't seem like people treat each other right anymore. You know what I'm saying. They lie, and they cheat, and they steal from each other, and they treat each other with total disregard for each other's feelings.
I would never treat you that way.
And I wouldn't treat you that way. But it just seems like people are out for themselves. So, what's the point of bringing a child into a world like this?
Having kids and raising them right is one way to change the world for the better.
I remember the day we went to Barton Springs. I saw the way you were playing with those kids in the water. You were so present with them. There was no patronization. It was like you were a kid yourself playing with them.
Well, what can I say? I love children. They're our future.
Let it take me where it wants to go till you open the door. There's so much more. I've never seen it before. I was trying to fly, but I couldn't find wings. 'Cause you came along and you changed everything. You lift my feet off the ground.
Happy 6-month anniversary, darling.
Happy anniversary, babe.
It's love at first sight. The moment I laid eyes on you, I couldn't believe it. Although it did take some light stalking to get you to go out with me. Look.
What do you say we just move in together?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of paying rent at two places when I spend most of my time over at yours?
That's because you hate your roommate.
Another reason why we should live together.
You really think we're ready for this?
I mean, we won't know if we don't try. don't know if I want to live in Texas anymore, now that abortion is banned here. I still can't believe the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. I didn't think I'd see that in my lifetime.
I know, it's crazy. My mom's freaking out about it.
I mean, what are we living in the dark ages here? A woman's right to choose is protected under the Constitution as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what the justices rule.
You'd make a great justice someday.
Thank you. You know, I never told anyone this, not even my father, but it's my dream to be a Supreme Court justice.
You'd make a badass judge. We need more women like you ruling the land.
I just want to do something important with my life. Something my father would be proud of.
Oh, that's why you're doing it. You're doing it for your daddy.
Well, I'm not doing it just for him. No, I love the law. And I want to do what I can to protect our constitutional rights. You know, I've been reading up on the attorney who was the architect behind the whole Texas Heartbeat Act. His name is Jeffrey James, and he's practicing constitutional law here in Austin. In fact, he's teaching at UT next semester.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to take his class just to heckle the hell out of him and disrupt his whole Texas Heartbeat Act, which robbed women of their reproductive rights.
You're amazing.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
Listen, I got one more set. Will you wait for me?
I don't know. Will you play Stay With Me tonight?
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome to the stage the loveliest New Yorker I know, Ms. Kat Washington, for my next song, for what happens to be her favorite song. She's a little shy. Maybe y'all can give her a bit of encouragement. Come on. Come on. Get on over here. Thank you. This one's for you, darling. First love's like learning to fly. We're just burning to try. Even if you fall, well, I hear you say, well, curse love, no, don't even try. When they cheated and lied, didn't care at all, didn't care at all. Well, hey now, don't be afraid to lay down, cover yourself with me. I'll never say goodbye. Stay with me tonight. If he's too cold to love you, to love you, to love you, then stay with me tonight. We both know we're after a happy ever after, something everlasting. Lay down by my side. Her father told me, hold on to her while you can. It's time to be a man. Even if you fall, trying to raise her up. Her spirit, I fear, has been broken bad. Hope an angel can come our way, a saving grace. But hey now, don't be afraid to lay down, cover yourself with me. I'll never say goodbye. Stay with me tonight. If he's too cold to love you, to love you, to love you, then stay with me tonight. We both know we're after a happy ever after, something everlasting. Lay down by my side. Stay with me tonight. Stay with me
Court's decision on Dobbs versus Jackson's Women's Health Organization overturned Roe v. Wade, it triggered the Texas Heartbeat Act, which criminalizes abortion at the moment of detection of embryonic cardiac activity, which is usually by about 6 weeks or so. We structured SB 8 to be the first abortion ban to rely solely on private citizens through civil lawsuits. The act authorizes anyone to sue any provider of an abortion for a minimum of $10,000 per abortion plus attorney's fees.
Well, that law is pure evil.
Miss, I'm going to have to ask you to sit down. Please, show some decorum. I'll be forced to ask you to leave. Thank you. Now remember, when we are in court, we mustn't ever allow our personal beliefs or emotions get the better of us. We must remain composed, regardless of how passionate an argument may be for us. Just to be perfectly clear, although I am personally opposed to abortion, I am not an anti-abortion activist. I never have been. My goal here is to destroy judicial supremacy and the idea that the Supreme Court is the final authority on the meaning of our Constitution. That's really what I'm all about. Okay. That's enough for today. We'll pick it up again on Monday. Have a good weekend. Miss Washington, may I see you?
Yes.
Why are you taking my class? You obviously have a bone to pick with me.
Oh, I just wanted to meet the man who is responsible for taking away my reproductive rights.
Oh, I can't take all the credit. But abortion is not why I did it, as you just heard. My mission here is to undermine the Supreme Court as the final authority of the laws of our land.
By taking away my due process as a woman.
It was the court that decided that due process didn't apply to a woman's reproductive rights because it wasn't considered a right when the Due Process Clause was ratified in 1868.
That's ridiculous and a slippery slope because other rights, like interracial and same-sex marriage, which also didn't exist when the Due Process Clause was ratified, may not be constitutionally protected either.
That is correct.
Well, I'm going to fight it.
You do that. That is your job as a lawyer, to protect the Constitution in all cases.
And I will.
Good. And maybe you'll learn something in my class to help you out along the way. That is, if you don't get yourself kicked out first.
Damn it. I'm pregnant.
Oh yeah? How?
Didn't your mama ever teach y'all about the birds and the bees?
I know how it happens. I'm wondering how it happened to you.
Well, remember on our anniversary when we got drunk and you asked if you could come inside me?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I miscalculated. Had I remembered, I would have taken the morning after pill.
So you're pregnant with my baby.
Whose else would it be?
I don't know. You're chock full of surprises today.
It's definitely yours. I've only been with you since we met.
How far along are you?
About 6 weeks.
6 weeks and you're just telling me now?
Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, so I refused to believe the test results.
Which was when?
About a week ago when I was late on my period.
And you didn't tell me then?
Like I said, I was in denial, so I took another test.
You took another test?
Yes, and it was also positive. Look, I'm sorry. I wanted to wait to tell you until I was absolutely positive.
Well, what are we going to do?
There's no we in this situation, Shane. I have to make the decision on my own.
Of course there's a we. We are in a relationship. We live together. We are going going to have a baby together. Oh.
Sorry, you make it sound like it's a given when ultimately it's my choice. You do see that, right?
Yeah, in the end, it's up to you. But don't I get a say in the matter?
Yeah. If I decide to keep it, you will.
Can't we just talk about
Okay,
this?
once you go through 9 months of a pregnancy and a hellacious delivery, then you can choose. Until then, my uterus, my choice. And that goes double for those chauvinistic justices who couldn't even find a clit if they tried.
But I don't understand. It's our baby that we made together.
Shane, it's not even a baby. It's a microscopic embryo. I mean, I could barely see it when my gynecologist gave me an ultrasound today.
You went and got an ultrasound? Without me? Was there a heartbeat?
It was more like an electrical pulse because the heart isn't fully formed yet.
Y'all heard our baby's heartbeat on the ultrasound and you ain't sure about keeping it? Did y'all find out the sex?
No, it's too early to find that out, and I don't even think I want to know.
Well, I want to know, and I want to have a say.
Babe, it's barely the size of a grain of rice.
I don't know what to say, Kat, except I love you, and I'm ready to start a family with you.
But are you? You know how much our lives will change if we have a kid? I mean, it's game over, dude.
Or it's just beginning. All right, I've always wanted to be a father.
And I'm sure you'll be a good one. Maybe just not with me.
Why not?
Because I don't know if I'll be a good mom.
Of course you would be.
You know I didn't have much of a role model growing up since my mom wasn't around a lot of the time.
That's okay. It's instinctive. I know you'll be a great mom to our baby.
Can you please stop calling it a baby? It is just an embryo. A sperm and an egg that has collided.
I don't see it like that.
Well, I don't care how you see it. Look, I know parenthood will ruin us. We'll end up resenting each other for derailing our lives in the cliche family way.
So you don't want to have kids?
Maybe one day, but not now with my bar exams coming up and all.
Okay, all right. What if you're not meant to be a lawyer like your father? What if this is what you're meant to do? Be a stay-at-home mom. I'm making out bartending to folks.
Shut the hell up, Shane. You do not know what you're talking about. Oh, I did not go to law school to become some trad wife. I have career goals just like you do.
Being a mother is the greatest career that there is. I promise I'll take care of you.
Well, I do not need a man to take care of me. I can take care of myself, thank you very much.
But isn't that my job as the man in this relationship? To provide for my woman and child?
Oh, since when?
Since you started carrying my baby.
Please stop referring to it as a baby.
Then what do you want me to call him or her?
It is just an embryo, Shane. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it, okay? So can we just stop? I need some time to think.
Take as much time as you need, darling. I'm here for you.
Thank you. Can we please just change the subject? It's giving me a headache.
Sure. I'm sorry. It's just... I care.
And I don't?
Of course you do. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm judging you. I'm not. I love you, Kat.
Can you please just talk about something else?
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, school, your music, the Texas Longhorns even. I don't care anything but this.
I hear the Longhorns are having a pretty good season.
Yeah, I heard that too. Even though I don't follow football.
Me neither. How about this?
Oh, I like this. This is a good way to change the subject.
Look, I get that you're pro-choice.
And I didn't get that you were so pro-life.
Neither did I, until faced with the prospect of terminating our unborn child's life.
Well, I don't see it that way.
When do you think life begins?
I don't know.
I believe it happens at conception.
Definitely not then.
Okay. Maybe when a heartbeat shows up on the ultrasound, like in the Texas Heartbeat Act.
You know I don't agree with SB 8. Most women don't even know that they're pregnant until after 6 weeks.
All right. Then when? 3 months? 6 months? 9 months?
I don't know, Shane. Can you please stop attacking me?
I'm sorry. I'm not attacking you. I genuinely want to know what you think as a woman.
I believe it should be determined on an individual case-by-case basis. Up to 6 months when the fetus is viable.
So life begins then?
I don't know, Shane. I'm not a doctor. But at the end of the day, the law needs to protect a woman's constitutional right to choose. End of story.
But shouldn't it also protect the unborn child since they can't protect themselves? I mean, these are human beings we're talking about here.
It's not. It is just an embryo.
Okay. So I guess the question really is, when does an embryo become a human being? You think that happens on a case-by-case basis? You think life begins at different times for different people?
No, I'm not saying that.
Then what are you saying?
I don't know, Shane. I don't know when life exactly begins. I'm not God.
Exactly, so stop playing God. Kat, our baby has a heartbeat. All right? He is a human being, no matter how tiny. You know I'm right on this.
Right-wing conservative, just like your father.
That's how he raised me, with good Christian values.
Do you even consider yourself a Christian, Shane?
No. But that's how he raised me and what he still believes.
And what do you believe?
I don't know. For me, it's no longer a religious or a political issue. It's personal. It has to do with you and me and our unborn baby.
Please stop calling it a baby. Just stop. Okay, look, I can't take this right now. This is my decision and my decision alone. You know, if you really do love me, you support whatever decision I make. Oh God, I'm going to be sick.
That remains to be seen. I know several lawmakers here in Texas and other conservative states who are looking for ways to prohibit interstate travel for abortion, so it could be risky for both the patient and the practitioner.
But what if it's the patient's only option?
There are always other options.
Then wouldn't you agree that our freedom of choice should be protected under the Constitution regardless of circumstances?
It matters how you interpret the Constitution.
Either way, it should be government hands off our bodies. Whether a woman wants to get an abortion or whether or not we want to take a vaccine. I mean, it's our personal freedom that is at stake here. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. I don't think the founding fathers had tyranny in mind when they drafted the Constitution to protect our newfound freedom.
But isn't taking away one's choice tyranny? It's the freedom to choose that women are fighting for, not the act of abortion itself.
Yes, I agree.
Let the court note that Mr. Jeffrey James has finally agreed with Ms. Kat Washington today. Hey Shane, can we talk?
I don't like the sound of that.
I've given it some thought, and even though I still have some reservations about it, I think we should do it.
Do what exactly?
I think we should have the baby.
Yo, we're gonna have a baby and get married.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Cat Washington, will you make me the happiest man alive and marry me?
Were you already planning this?
I've been fixing to for a while. I was just waiting for you to make the right choice. So,
I'm sorry, babe. I'm still overwhelmed by the prospect of being a mother right now. I don't think I have the bandwidth to take on another life-changing commitment. Hey, but in the meantime, we should celebrate because we're having a baby.
we are having a baby.
Yeah.
We're having a baby.
Hey, let's go get that bottle of champagne we've been saving in the fridge.
But can you drink if you're pregnant?
Yeah, one glass of champagne on my first trimester is no big deal, Shane.
Are you sure?
Yes, go. You know, what I'm not sure of is if we're really ready to raise a child. I still feel like we're children ourselves. You spend most of your time on the couch playing video games.
That's because I work nights.
Well, you rarely pick up after yourself, babe. I'm always cleaning up after you, which I'm sure your mother did before me.
This is a game changer, darling, all right? Just give me a chance to show you what kind of man I can be for you and our baby. I'm going to pamper you and take care of you the way a man should take care of his woman.
Now that's your best line ever.
It ain't a line, darling. I'm tired of doing things halfway, Kat. I love you. I want to get married to you and start a family with you and grow old together. You're my person. But you're the only person I want to do that with.
You know what? That was a great closing argument. Let's do it. Let's get married.
All right.
Oh, yes, you're down. I'm up. You have the ring, right?
Cat Washington, will you make me the happiest man alive and accompany me on this journey called life as my wife?
Yes, Shane Carter. As long as you promise to love me forever.
I promise, darling. I am posting this pronto. Come here.
Well, shouldn't we wait before telling our family and friends?
What for? I want the world to know that you're going to be Mrs. Shane Carter.
Oh, I'm not changing my last name, Shane.
All right. You can be a hyphenate, Cat Washington Carver. See? I'm a feminist too.
You're far from being a feminist, babe. Cat Washington Carver. I like it. Makes it sound like I'm related to George Washington Carver.
Who's that?
Maybe I don't want to marry you after all.
Look what I found. And it was on sale.
Oh, that's adorable. Oh, I'm the new cowboy in town. God.
I got you snacks for your cravings.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you got my favorite.
Look what I got him. He's going to be a musician.
I think it'll be a while until she can play that.
Well, you can never start too early. was so great to go to the doctor with you this morning and hear our baby's heartbeat on the ultrasound.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't take you the first time. I just thought, I didn't know what to do. I thought I had to go alone.
Well, you're not alone. Darling, we're in this together.
Look at all these gorgeous gowns that I'm gonna wear because I'll be showing.
Well, can't you just find a dress you like and alter it somehow to hide your baby bump like Kim Kardashian or whoever?
I guess that's what I'll have to do. But it won't be my dream wedding like hers was.
You are going to be a beautiful bride, no matter what you're wearing.
Thanks, babe. I appreciate your support. I'm just a little stressed out. I mean, we have so many details to plan and not a lot of time to plan everything. I mean, look, maybe we should postpone the wedding until after the birth.
No, I don't want my baby being born a bastard. I want him to be brought into this world the right way.
Speaking of which, I want a home birth with a midwife. I hate hospitals. My mother died in one.
Home birth sounds all right. Whatever you like.
A water birth with a tub and everything.
Sure, whatever you want. I'm here for you, you know that. How's your morning sickness been?
I no longer have morning sickness. Just these intense cravings.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
You're so cute. I love the way you're doting over me.
I told you I could change.
Well, you're doing great. I feel very taken care of.
Oh, are you sure this is all right for the baby?
Yes, it's fine.
I just don't want to hurt him.
Trust me, it won't hurt her. I promise. Her mama feeling good could only be a good thing for the baby.
Right. Boy.
Shane, where have you been? It's 5 a.m.
I'm sorry, darling. I had to work late. They made me close. Oh.
Well, I was worried.
I'm sorry. I didn't call because I didn't want to wake you.
Listen, we have to talk.
What did I do this time?
I think we're making a terrible mistake.
What are you talking about? Are you getting cold feet?
I have decided I am going to get the abortion.
What? Why? Is it something I did?
No.
You swear?
Yes.
What made you change your mind?
It's just I love our life as it is now, Shane. I feel like having a child will just change all of that.
You want to have kids with me at some point?
Maybe one day. Just not now. I promise, Shane, one day you will thank me.
For killing our baby?
Don't say that. That's abusive.
I'd say abortion is about as abusive as you can get.
Okay, you know what? I don't want to talk about this right now. It was a mistake, and I'm going to fix it.
Well, what if it wasn't a mistake? All right, what if it was meant to be?
No, it's not.
If you thought you were making a mistake in the first place, what if you're about to make another irreversible mistake?
Are you really ready to give up your dream as a country star and work full-time as a bartender to provide for a family?
Yeah. This is way more important.
Well, I'm not ready to give up my dream as a lawyer. I mean, I'll end up resenting the child for forcing my hand. The same way my mother resented me when I was born. She was in love with someone else when she got pregnant by my father. It changed the whole trajectory of their lives.
Just think, if she had gotten an abortion, we wouldn't be here having this conversation right now.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I think I would have been better off.
Don't say that. I mean, just look at you, Kat. You're starting to the show.
Yes, I know, and everything is starting to be tight on me now. And I don't want to splurge on maternity wear. I just feel like it would be a waste.
It is a waste of a life.
Look, I can't deal with your abuse right now, Shane. I don't care how drunk you are. I mean, you sound like those people who hold up signs and yell at women in front of Planned Parenthood.
I do
And
not!
it's not making me feel good, okay? So can you just stop? I have considered my options and I have made my decision. You're just gonna have to live with that, okay?
I'm sorry, darling. I can't help it. I just want to make sure this is the right choice for everyone.
Yes, it is. But your accusations are triggering for me, Shane. It's like you're supporting the rhetoric that took away my right to choose, and I don't appreciate that.
I'm sorry if it triggers you. I just want to help you see something maybe you don't want to see.
Well, why should I have to? This is my life. Even though, yes, I am sharing it with you, I am in control of my own destiny. No one has dominion over my body. Don't you see that? I have to honor myself as a woman first in order to be with you. Otherwise, I'll just lose myself in you.
But is that so bad?
Is that what you want me to say? You want me to say yes? I'll have the child. And we'll live the life that you want for us.
Not if you don't want that. I want us to want the same thing.
I thought we did. You were the one who changed.
What are you talking about? You're the one who just changed your mind about having it.
Well, you changed your entire position on the issue, from left to right.
Well, I'm sorry, darling. I can't help it. If it takes a man and a woman to make a baby, why isn't it a man and a woman's decision whether or not to keep it?
For ages, women didn't have rights, Shane. Men made all the decisions. If a woman got pregnant, the man could force her to have the kid or not. It wasn't up to her, it was up to him. He had all the say.
It is so funny how you all are fighting so hard for a woman's right to choose. But you all are taking away a man's right to choose in the process.
My body, my choice. Can't you see that?
The only thing I see is that you have a choice to make. It's either me or the baby. You can't have the abortion. You can't have both.
Why not?
Because I could never look at you the same way if you went through with it.
There it is. There's that conservative cowboy I always knew you were.
Well, I'm sorry, darling. I can't help it. I could never be with a woman who would make the choice to end her own baby's life.
Come on, Shane. You don't mean that. You're just drunk, okay? Look, once you have the procedure, everything will go back to normal, okay?
Unfortunately, it can't. If you go through with this, we're done.
Are you serious?
I've never been more serious about anything in my life. I thought I could talk some sense into you, but I see now I was just wasting my breath.
But what about our engagement? We announced it already. I knew we should have waited before telling anyone.
Considering the circumstances, you should probably move out as soon as you can.
Please, Shane. Can we just talk about it first?
I'm sorry, darling. You leave me no choice.
Whichever side you fall on regarding the Texas Heartbeat Act, it is the first time a state has successfully imposed a 6-week abortion ban since Roe v. Wade. But abortion isn't the biggest issue here. With the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, we must pay attention to the power of the judicial process, which is all too often regarded as an executive veto. When the court declares a statute unconstitutional, the rejected law is described as having been struck down, invariably erasing it from the law books. Those 9 unelected justices should not wield such absolute power. We must protect our Constitution at all costs if we want to continue to live in a free nation. Okay. I think that's good a place as any to stop for today.
What are you doing here?
I'm auditing the class.
More like stalking me. I can't deal with this right now. Please don't come to any more of my classes. You don't even go to this school.
That don't matter.
Well, it matters to me. You kicked me out, Shane. I had to move back in with my roommate. So just leave me alone.
Kat, can I ask you a question?
Are you in my class?
No, I'm just auditing for today, but you seem to be an expert on constitutional law.
Despite my best efforts, what's on your mind?
I want to know what my rights are as the father of an unborn child.
That's a complicated issue. One that's not as clear as it could be.
Do I have any rights?
The short answer, I'm afraid, is no.
How can that be?
If your partner seeks an abortion, your consent isn't legally required. She can choose to terminate the pregnancy despite your objections. How far along is she?
About 3 months.
So are you objecting to her abortion, or are you challenging her decision to have the child?
Turns out I'm pro-life.
Let's see. Have you told her how you feel about it?
Of course. As soon as she told me she was pregnant, I told her that I wanted to keep it, but she doesn't care about me or the baby. She only cares about herself. So now I feel like I have to stand up for my unborn child, but seems like I don't have any ground to stand on.
The legal reasoning for it is twofold. First, it's based on a woman's right to privacy regarding her medical decisions. But it's also based on the fact that the mother is more adversely affected by the pregnancy. In both instances, it's been a woman's reproductive rights that have been the deciding factor.
But what about my rights as the father? I mean, shouldn't my consent be necessary?
There was a time, not so long ago, that a married woman couldn't do anything without her husband's permission. But the court has found all laws requiring a spouse's consent for an abortion to be unconstitutional.
So I basically have about as much rights as a sperm donor.
Basically. At least until the child is born, and then you have a financial responsibility along with paternal rights.
But how is that even possible if she aborts the baby?
I know. It's a real hot button issue right now for most people.
This ain't just some issue for me, Professor. This is my unborn child we're talking about here.
Yeah, so maybe, son, you'll learn to keep it in your pants next time. As I tell my own sons, the power of choice for a man comes before he ejaculates inside a woman. He forgoes that canon, all bets are off.
The baby's mama's in your class. Kat Washington.
Oh, the infamous Miss Washington. Well, That all makes sense now.
Now you see what I'm dealing with?
I hope it works out for y'all.
Kat, I am so sorry.
I almost left.
I'm really glad you did.
So what did you want to talk to me about?
Do you want something to drink?
I'm not here to socialize, Shane. You said it was urgent.
Have you had the
Abortion? No, not yet.
but you're still planning on it?
Yes. I'm just trying to figure out where to go post Roe v. Wade.
I want to know if there's anything I can do or say to get you to change your mind.
No, I have made my decision. It's just a question of when and where now.
Is anyone going with you?
I wasn't counting on it. Certainly can't call my dad.
What about one of your friends?
I called some of my so-called friends here in Austin. But I'm just so tired of their moral judgments. They don't say anything, but I can see it in their eyes. They blame me for getting pregnant in the first place. I mean, who knew that woman could be so of her life? But I should have figured living here in Texas. It's just better if I go by myself, no questions asked.
You shouldn't go alone. At the very least, someone should drive you.
No, maybe it won't be that bad. I mean, I don't know what the procedure is like now, but before you were just able to take some pills at home to terminate the pregnancy.
Have you had an abortion before?
No. This is the first time I've ever been pregnant, Shane. I'm usually very careful, as you know.
Are the abortion pills even safe?
Are any of the drugs Big Pharma pushes on us safe? The mifepristone was banned as a home remedy by the Supreme Court recently, even though it's been used by millions of women for over 20 years. I mean, it's crazy if you think about it.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kat. It is crazy. Just please don't do this, Kat. Please, I love you. I want to start a family with you. Just please don't do this. Please,
I'm
please,
sorry,
please,
Shane. I made
please.
up my mind. Look, I hope you know this wasn't an easy decision for me.
Maybe it ain't been easy because you know deep down it ain't right.
See, that's your privilege speaking. The privilege of being a man.
You're the one with the privilege to be able to give birth. All right, I'm just pointing out maybe this ain't the right choice for you or the baby. This is a decision you could regret for the rest of your life.
Well,
Kat.
that's a risk I'll just have to take.
What if I offer to drive you to whatever blue state you want to go to?
Why would you do that?
Because I'm equally responsible for putting you in this situation.
You do that for me. Come with me to get an abortion, despite your personal objections.
Yeah, I'll even pay for it. You just shouldn't have to go alone.
Wow. You continue to surprise me, Shane. I don't know what to say.
I love you, Kat. I don't want to lose you.
You really do love me.
And I'm sorry. I know it ain't been all beer and Skittles.
And I'm sorry, too. I should have considered your feelings and not immediately shut you out like I did. I just felt so attacked by you.
Just because I disagreed with you.
No, it was the way that you did it. It felt like you didn't support me as my partner. Look, I need you as my ally in this fight, not my enemy.
I don't want to be your enemy. I was just trying to help you see something maybe you didn't want to see.
And why should I have to? We both have our own truths, right? But that doesn't mean we can't love and respect each other despite our differences. And not just cancel someone because they do or say something we don't agree with.
I'm sorry for breaking up with you.
I'm sorry for excluding you from the decision-making process. I just thought you were going to influence my decision, and I really thought it was a decision I had to make on my own. But that's not completely true. I mean, you were my lover, my partner. I should have trusted you and let you in.
I promise to support you from now on, darling.
I don't think it's just you, Shane. I think I'm afraid to trust anyone.
But I'm not just anyone. Alright, you can trust me. Kat, you don't have to play the lawyer role with me all the time.
I'm just expressing my opinion.
And your opinion is very, very persuasive. You help me see the error in my thinking. Without the freedom to choose, there's no real freedom at all.
I rest my case.
You are going to make an excellent lawyer. Here you go, darling.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
No, the tea is fine. Thank you.
Do you want to talk about it? The procedure?
Do you really want to hear about it?
I'm here for you, darling.
To be honest, the whole thing was a lot worse than I imagined. I mean, it felt cold and calculated after I took those pills and waited. It was very painful. There was a lot of blood. Even though I know it's irrational and I had no other choice, I still felt guilty about it after all the shit you said to me. I never want to go through something like that again, Shane.
I'm so sorry. Darling, I know now you were just doing what you had to do, and I don't hold any of it against you, because I got you. Darling, I got you. Alright, we can always have another baby, but there is only one you. So what do we do now?
I don't know. Can we just take it slow this time?
Of course, we can take things as slow as you like.
I just think we rushed into things before. And I don't want to make that mistake again.
I get it. Listen, I got an offer to go on tour in support of Zach Williams.
Really? Oh, that's great. I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave you, Kat. Not like this.
I think some time away will be best for the both of us.
I don't know what to think, Kat. I feel like I can't think straight.
I think you should go on on tour, babe.
But I don't want to go. I want to be here with you. I want us to get married like we planned.
And we'll talk about it when you come back from the road. Okay?
All right.
I think we both just need some time to process everything. I mean, the whole thing was traumatic, you know?
I'm so sorry that it took me so long to come around and see things from your perspective. It ain't that I didn't love you. I think I loved you too much, if that's even possible.
If only all men could see the situation from a woman's perspective, like you have, then we wouldn't have to fight for our rights in Congress and in courts. I mean, it would be recognized as our unalienable God-given right, which I believe it is.
Oh, Miss Washington, where have you been? I reckon you dropped out. To tell you the truth, I was a little disappointed.
I had a medical emergency.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. What happened?
I'd rather not say.
I see something in you, Miss Washington. I may not always like what I see, but it's certainly undeniable.
Well, I can't believe today's our last class. What am I going to do without you?
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll find another professor to harass. What are your plans this summer?
You mean after I pass the bar?
Oh, assuming you will. Listen, there's a internship opening up at my law firm that starts next week. I could recommend you for it if you're interested. I see what a hard worker you are, Miss Washington. Besides, we need a ballsy woman like you on our team.
I don't know if I should be pleased or offended.
Could be a really good learning experience for you. See how the other side works.
It's true. I mean, how can you successfully argue a case if you can't see both sides?
Exactly. Just like a Supreme Court justice, which I believe you could be one day.
That's funny that you should say that.
And why is that?
Because that's always been my dream. To dispense the scales of justice like Ruth Bader Ginsburg or Ketanji Brown Jackson. But you're right. It is a choice. I can either try to be right and win an argument, or I can take a step back and see both sides equally and come to a fair conclusion. I mean, that's the true place of power. And it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you come from. You have to respect the other's point of view. Otherwise, we don't have a democracy.
Yes, but unfortunately, we are no longer living in a democracy, Miss Washington. We are living in an oligarchy. It tells us what to think and how to feel about it. The deep state that runs it is taking a page out of the divide and conquer playbook. It's a form of Marxist propaganda to divide and conquer through race and gender, religion. It's a devious way to control us. Just look at Black Lives Matter.
What about
Or the LGBTQ or whatever movement. Or the January 6th insurrection. Even feminism.
What does feminism have
It's
to do?
all a way to divide and undermine the conservative family values that this great country was built upon.
Okay, please don't go all MAGA on me.
Listen, I can respect a blue state's pro-choice laws that reflect its constituents. But what about you? Can you respect a red state like Texas, whose pro-life laws reflect its constituents?
I don't care if it's on a federal or state level. I'm against any government control over my body, period.
Have you ever asked yourself why? Why are there so many unwanted pregnancies? Make no mistake about it. Abortion is just part of the depopulation agenda. Not to mention the fetal tissue stem cells that are used for research and regeneration. It's $1 billion business. There is a lot of money to be made on a woman's right to choose.
Yeah? Then how the hell did Roe v. Wade get overturned?
Look, I get that you need to take some space, but I don't understand why you're ghosting me. Alright, I miss you. And I'm looking forward to starting a life together when I get back next month. Not starting, but resuming our lives together. And finally getting married like we planned. Then maybe when the time is right, we could have a baby. Maybe even more than one. I don't know. But in the meantime, I've been thinking about the way I treated you when you were pregnant. And I realize now that the way I treated you was wrong. And I'm not just talking about my abusive behavior. It was my whole attitude towards you as my woman. Like I was somehow charged with taking care of you as my wife, like you belonged to me or something. And I just see now how downright wrong that was. I have to respect your right to choose, whether it's who you work for or when you want to make love or whether or not you want to have a baby. I have to honor and respect you as a woman. Not just respect, but adore you. Adore you because you don't belong to me. Kat, you actually are a part of me. And hello? Excuse me. I'm looking for Kat Washington. You know which floor she works on?
Who's asking?
Shane Carver. I was hoping to surprise her.
Oh, yeah. I know who you are. We met once after one of my classes at UT.
That's right. You know if Kat's available?
Do you think it's appropriate for you to just show up at her place of employment unannounced?
I'm her fiance. I'd like to see where she works.
Well, I'm her boss, and I say no. I don't approve of you. I think you're bad for her.
How she ever ended up working for someone like you is what I'd like to know.
I gave her a first opportunity as an attorney. What'd you ever do for her, huh? But knock her up.
You're trying to change her. Make her think like you do.
I wish. But she thinks for herself. That's what I like about her. She's her own person. See, she may be pro-choice and me pro-life. It doesn't matter. In the end, we both want the same thing. To live in a nation that protects its citizens' personal freedom and the Constitution that it's based on.
Yeah, but y'all impose your freedoms on other people's freedoms. As if y'all's is more important than theirs.
There will always be a ruling class.
Is that how you see yourself? As superior to others?
I see myself as someone who fights for justice. In an unjust world, the morals and ethics of our current society are so corrupt, so self-serving, so deviant that we have gone far astray from the Christian values that Jesus taught. Like love your neighbor as yourself. Instead, we have these selfish, greedy people who are run by their lower desires, programmed to consume, depressed that they can't get what they want.
Although your tirade here is very telling of your white male privilege, I came here to see Kat, not listen to some Tucker Carlson wannabe.
Okay, time for you to go by right now, fanboy.
Hey y'all, thank you for coming out tonight. This is the final night of our 2-month whirlwind tour, and this is going to be my last song. So, just wanted to say thank you. Thanks for listening, And, well, have a great night, y'all. Some things are unseen, some things you can't touch. Somewhere higher up, far beyond the world's club. Street lights pass in the rear view, like those old thoughts that we held to, the emotions that we went through. Hot, cold, good, bad, never lukewarm. From sex on full moon to tears in the tissue. No more trying to dial in, get it dialed in. Upside down, right on the wall, gotta find down, gotta find the truth in myself. That's all I can do, all I can do. Please be gentle, treat it right. When my heart is open wide, we've got you, we've got time, way more than enough. Patience, patience, there's no rush. Keep your word and I'll keep my trust. We've got our whole lives for sharing this love. Think of what could be. Think of what could be. We've got forever for sharing this love. Think of what could be. Something so close yet so far out of hand's reach. A wise one once told me we are what we seek. Pray for the strength to forgive you for the things you refuse to admit it to. Oh, wait, outside won't neglect you, not again won't neglect you. Try so hard to respect you, now I can't seem to forget you. Think of what could be. Think of what could be. We've got our whole lives for sharing this love. Think of what could be.
Shane, you were so...
Why haven't you texted me back, Kat?
You should never give up music, Shane. You are so...
Why have you been ghosting me?
I'm sorry, Shane. I've been swamped between the bar exam and working for Jeffrey James at his law firm. I mean, they love me there. I mean, I've already been promoted from intern to paid junior attorney.
Who'd have guessed you'd end up working for your worst enemy? I thought you hated the guy and his right-wing politics.
He's not at all who I thought he was. I mean, he's actually brilliant and kind. Besides the fact that he's challenging the absolute power of the Supreme Court.
It sounds like he's indoctrinated you. What are you guys hooking up?
No. Why would you ask that?
Because it would make sense.
No, you need to look past the obvious, Shane. Jeffrey James has given me the opportunity to Trojan horse myself inside the enemy camp. Plus, he's married with kids and a Christian, so no. Well, what about you? I'm sure you've had your hands full with all your groupies.
Random hookups don't really do it for me. I only want what we have.
Well, I can't believe how many people showed up tonight.
Yeah, my career's really taken off ever since I released my EP last month.
Well, you know I loved it.
Thanks. You know, the last song was actually about you and me and everything we went through.
I figured. I'm so happy for your success, Shane.
It sure beats working behind the bar. I feel like I never made it because I was always back there instead of up on stage where I belong. Although the tipsing is good.
Well, maybe you should do a little striptease for better tips. I'm sure your fans would love it. Oh, there's that laugh.
Shit, I thought you never wanted to speak to me again, Kat. Ever since you stopped responding to me, it's been hell. I wrote a bunch of songs about
I
it.
know, Shane. I'm sorry. I just needed time to process everything. I'm sorry for ghosting you. That wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't. Can you believe we met in this very spot almost a year ago?
Really? Seems longer.
Could I buy you a drink to celebrate?
You still have the lamest pickup lines.
I know. I can't help it.
You know I would. I just have to prep for an early case tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come out to the show tonight.
You know when I walked in and I saw you on stage, I fell in love with you all over again.
But you're my muse. Darling, more than that, you're everything. Life's meaningless without you.
Flawless design, out in the open, on through space and time. I'm moving the motion when I close my eyes. I finally realize all of it's a lie. All of it when seen with the right eyes. The sky is only an ocean dreaming tonight. I sail on. Whoa, whoa, bring me the bright eyes that shine, and only devotion dreaming tonight. I sail on, sail